Well, I'm pretty optimistic about a successful agreement. There's no question that the commitments made so far aren't enough, and it may well be that we will reach the COP in Paris when, if you actually add the commitments up, they don't end with the possibility of protecting ourselves from anything more than a 2-degree world. Yes, I think we can get an agreement. Quite how extensive it will be or how much it will be the beginning of a process is a different issue, because obviously you sign up, we hope, it all adds up, then you've got to organise the mechanisms by which you deliver and by which you check your delivery. And I always think people use terribly short-handed terms. I mean, they talk about legally binding. Yes, well, of course it's got to be binding, and of course in that sense it's legally binding, but you've also got to recognise that developing countries have only just emerged from imperialism, so you've got to handle their concerns about being interfered with real concern. And you can't ask the Chinese, for example, to submit to the kind of inspection which they don't let their own people give. So you've got to be sensible about this. And the reason that the Chinese-United States agreement was so important was not just the agreement and the figures and all the rest of it. It was that for the first time, the United States stopped pretending that it was off the hook because China wasn't on it. The first time both countries recognised publicly that they had to do something. I mean, first of all, you have to recognise that some people can do more than others. That's what we pioneered. I remember it because I was part of that group in the European Union when we pioneered what we called the bubble, where Britain did more to contribute to the Kyoto Protocol demands than other countries, in order that Ireland, for example, or Portugal could do less, because they had not developed to the same degree as Britain. And so Britain and Germany and Denmark and others took that weight upon them. And that will be the same in this, because there's no doubt that we who have benefited from the pollution that has caused climate change have got a responsibility to play the biggest part. And those countries which have not benefited really cannot be left there to be told that they can't develop. We've got to provide them with the means of clean development, but we've also got to provide them with the elbow room within the 2 degrees to enable them to begin to raise standards for people who are otherwise very poor. So it'll be differentiated in that kind of way. And we're going to have to meet the natural suspicion of the developing countries who have experienced imperialism over a whole long period of time. And we have to recognise the exciting fact this is the biggest change in the way human beings look at other human beings for 500 years. I mean, since the Renaissance, because we now have to treat everybody as our equal partner in solving these problems. Well, if you do that, then social justice becomes a very much more important element in the agreement that you come to.